Hey everyone, it's Mark here from 4DMV.com, your DMV specialist, making the DMV simple for you. And today we're answering the question, what happens if I drive without insurance in the state of New York? Well, first of all, there are a lot of things that can happen, and none of them are very good. So it's very important that you make sure that your insurance does not lapse in the eyes of the DMV in New York. Any amount of time of lapse in your insurance for the vehicle that's registered to you, the DMV can suspend your registration as well as your driver's license. So what can cause your insurance to lapse? Well, first of all, a lapse of insurance is any time that your vehicle is registered, but your insurance is no longer valid. So it's a gap in the coverage of your insurance that does not cover your registration. And there are several reasons that can cause that to happen. First of all, maybe your insurance is canceled prior to the date of your new insurance beginning. You've changed insurance companies and you've decided to go with someone else, but they canceled your original insurance before the new insurance begins to be active. Or maybe you haven't surrendered your vehicle plates. You sold the vehicle, but your insurance has been canceled, but you have not surrendered the plates to the DMV. Technically, you would be in lapse of insurance in that case. Or your insurance is canceled prior to your registration expiring. So there's a gap between the date your insurance is canceled and the date your registration expires. That is an insurance lapse. Your insurance company cancels your insurance and there's a time gap between when it's reinstated, and that would be considered an insurance lapse as well. Or for example, your insurance is canceled and other proof of insurance, say your vehicle is registered in another state or has been repossessed or impounded, that other proof is not valid yet, you have a lapse in your insurance. A lapse of insurance can also occur between the date you register your vehicle and the date your new insurance coverage begins. So there's several ways that your insurance can lapse, and the DMV will send you letters and orders and instructions on how to resolve that insurance lapse, and it's very important that you take care of that as soon as possible. If your registration if they suspend your registration for more than 90 days, you will be required to surrender your vehicle registration and plates, and they will also suspend your license, and your driver's license will be suspended for the same number of days as your registration. So that could be up to 90 days that your license would be suspended. Now off to the question of what happens if I drive without insurance. Well, you could be arrested. You could have your vehicle impounded by a law enforcement officer. The DMV will revoke your registration and your driver's license if you happen to drive without insurance. So it's very important to make sure that you have coverage when you are driving your vehicle, that your vehicle your vehicle insurance is up to date. If you happen to get in a crash and you are uninsured or there's a lapse in your insurance, your license registration will be suspended and you're going to pay a lot of fines and penalties. So if you let your vehicle out to somebody else and you do not have insurance, anybody who's driving that uninsured vehicle or involved in a crash, the DMV will revoke your driver's license, the vehicle registration, for at least 1 year. You could also get traffic court fines as much as $1,500, and you will have to pay a $750 civil penalty to restore your driver's license if it's revoked. So what if you get new insurance and your insurance is canceled or your insurance is canceled and reinstated and you want to get new insurance? There are several things you must do. You must have your new insurance company electronically notify the DMV that your insurance is canceled or your insurance has been reinstated or you get new insurance coverage. It's really important to have your insurance company notify the DMV, and you must be able to respond to a DMV letter to prove that you have that coverage or that you sold the vehicle or that insurance is not required. How do you avoid a lapse in insurance? It's very simple. If you have no insurance, the simple rule is no insurance, no plates. So make sure that you keep everything current. Your vehicle registration addresses, keep them current with the DMV. If you change addresses, you must update them with the DMV. Make sure you have your liability coverage from a licensed New York State Department of Financial Services insurance provider, and that insurance provider is authorized by the New York State DMV. You can never have out-of-state coverage. It's never acceptable on any vehicle registered in New York. It must be a New York State registered insurance provider. Make sure that your insurance company reports any changes to the DMV. So if you change your coverage, it's important that they notify them electronically that that coverage is changed. Always keep your insurance coverage current as long as your vehicle is registered in New York. Respond to DMV letters and orders. So if the DMV sends you a letter saying your insurance is lapsed, you must respond to those and take the steps that they tell you to take. If you sell your vehicle or your insurance expires, you must surrender your vehicle registration and license plates to the DMV before your coverage ends for any reason. Remember, just because you sold your vehicle doesn't mean you would not be subject to penalties if your insurance lapses. So it's very important, as I said, to make sure you have valid liability insurance coverage for your vehicle registered in your name, and that you make sure that it's up to date. This does not apply necessarily to motorcycles. There are different rules for motorcycles, and it's important to make sure you know what those rules are before you drive your motorcycle on the roads in New York State. Hope this video has been helpful. If you want more information, you can visit our site fordmv.com or visit the New York DMV website for more information. Links will be in the description of this video. Thanks very much.